known as Hoop Woman. She is a national known speaker. She is an author. She is a mom. She is a wife. She is a busy woman. Please help me welcome Theresa Rose.
Thank you, guys. I want to say an especially huge, big Hoop Woman hug goes to all of you for coming here on the holiday weekend, when I know that you could be doing lots of other things. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Before we start the message and the service today, I'm going to invite everybody. This is an open altar. This is a sacred space that we have here, that we hold here at Lake Harriet Spiritual Community. In particular, the services that I facilitate, I have this as kind of a living, breathing energy. So I was up in my prayer room before I came down here, and I've got a lot of sacred objects. And I look around and I feel around, more appropriately, I feel around and go, which one is the one that says, pick me, I want to be on the altar today. And this one did, and it's very, very near and dear to my heart. And so what I'm going to do in my service is I energize this, we're going to fill this space. We're going to fill this space with our own divinity today. And so for me, I'm going to energize it and put my prayer and my intention and my power into this. And I invite any of you who have sacred objects, or even if they're mundane objects, but you want to make them become sacred, you can put them on the altar now. Recognize that if you put an object on the altar, it is receiving the collective energy of all of it. So you can use it after you get home. Once you start doing your own prayer work, I am very much a proponent of finding spirit, dancing with spirit, and integrating with spirit beyond Sundays at 10:30. And I hope that you are too. And I want to help you do that. Thank you. I've seen lipsticks. I've seen earrings. I've seen all sorts of things that turn sacred. As she picks up the hoop. Hi, Ellen. You get up here too, Dorothy. Who has off tomorrow? Raise your hand if you have off tomorrow. Raise your hand if you're happy that you have off tomorrow. Yes, it's a day off. It's a day off. Let's give a round of applause for a day off. I was sitting with, in prayer, what today's message was going to be about and what today's spirit kiss was going to be about. And I kept getting Labor Day, Labor Day, Labor Day, Labor Day, Labor Day. And I thought, you can't come up with something more boring than Labor Day. That's awful. I don't want to talk about that. And I sent it back up. And Spirit is kind of like the ultimate postal service, where it doesn't let you do the return to sender. It just keeps sending it back to you, saying, no, it really is going to be about Labor Day. You'll find out. And so I sat with it and asked and said, what is this? What is this message that you're sending for me and for you? Bless you. And what I received was that we, I think, have an opportunity. And when I say we, I mean me, and you probably, because most of us all have the same experiences, do we not? We all find out, they're all just kind of different characters and different plot lines and, different costumes, but generally speaking, we all sort of run the same stuff. And I got excited that I wasn't going to work tomorrow either, although owning my own business, does anybody own their own business at all? Okay, so days off, that's kind of a funny thing, right? It's, especially if it's a home business, there's very, very little boundary setting, I find. I have a difficult time with that. So Monday is Monday. Monday is actually a bigger work day for me because my husband works with me in my business, and so he thinks it's his day off. It's not at all his day off. He has another job outside, and he's going to be working real hard tomorrow. So I'm thinking about Labor Day and what that means, and I did some research on it, and I figured out, what it was about. And it's a holiday, and forgive me if it's not exactly perfect in this description of it, but it's a holiday that was established in the late 1800s to really celebrate the trade unions, to celebrate the machinists, to celebrate the workers, the dock workmen, the people that were hauling heavy things and building heavy things to build this country, to build our communities. And they got one day out of the year to acknowledge the labor that they did for their communities. And somewhere along the line, it became about last day to wear white, hot dogs, and sales at Kmart. The Labor Day sale, right? And we're just like, we're happy we're off, we're happy we have another day. And so I sank into what is it really about for us? Because I like to live life. This is how I personally just have stepped into the boots of. Spirit talks to me in symbols and in visions and in dreams and in all the ways that it pops. And it will use things like holidays to teach me stuff about me and then help teach you stuff about you. And so I was thinking about it, and I don't know about you, but I've grown up with, and I have a pretty healthy distaste for work. Do you guys have a distaste for work? Work is like, who came up with that? That's awful. That's awful. I gotta go to work, right? And even if you have a really, really great job, awesome job, does anybody have like just the most juicy, perfect, fantastic job ever? Okay, there's 4, 5, 6. Okay. I mean, you really love this job, right? Love it. And you still go, I gotta go to work. I gotta go do this thing. I have to do this. Oh, here we go. I gotta work with another, beautiful horse. Poor me. So there's all these different things that we say, we got to. And I so feel it. And, like, I get to have a day off. I get to get away. And I sunk into that and went, okay, what's the reality of that? What's the reality of that? Beyond the program that I've learned emotionally and energetically throughout my whole life, what's the truth of that? And the truth is that work, whether it's out of the home, in the home, for money or for energy, or whatever you've chosen in your life, it's half of your waking life. It's 50%, give or take. Half. And I've walked many, 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 many days where I've really fought against that half. I gotta go. And it's just, you can't wait till it's over. And you almost have that internal clock that if you stop at 5 o'clock, you start getting all sort of tingly at about 4:15. Like, getting close, I'll start watching. Okay? So half of our lives, we're wishing it was over. How many of you have had anybody pass on, transition to the spirit world in your close circle? Anybody die in your life? Okay. And so you know that if those people were here today in physical form, and you said, you have one more day. Well, you have a whole day. But I'm going to tell you half of it's going to be stuff that you probably wouldn't choose otherwise. It's not going to be going to the amusement park or seeing your grandchildren or seeing the lake one more time. It's going to be that you're going to need to look at your taxes. You're going to need to look at your taxes. And by the way, one of those hours, I am going to have to take you to Cub. I'm going to have to take you to Cub to get some food. But they're here, okay? The people that you love are here. And do you think they'd go, forget it. Forget it, I don't want to go. I'll just go back. No, I bet they'd be pretty juiced about even going to Cub because they'd be feeling it. They'd be here. They'd be experiencing that visceral thing called life again. So here we are. We all are going to be the same place they are. This is not an if we're going to see them again. It's a when we're going to see them again. So we know we're going. We may have one more day left. We may have 5 or 10 or 1,000 or 10,000. If you have 10,000 days left in your life, this is day 1, tomorrow's day 2, you have 10,000 more days. Do you want to take 5,000 of them and just go, eh? No. That's our relationship to work. So let's see if we can reorient it and look at what the gifts are in our work. Because listen, this may be practical spirituality 101, but the truth of the matter is if I can get you just a little bit happier and a little bit more at peace and a little bit more present, a little more grateful for that other 50%, this whole world's going to change. We're going to be able to light the whole place on fire with what we want to create. So for me, how do I reorient myself to work? Number 1, I look at it as an expression of creativity. Now, you may say, Theresa, that's fine for you because you're up here and you're creating on stage and you're creating on the page and you're creating all these different places. But what about me? I'm an accountant. I'm not creating anything. Yes, you are. Your part is critical to the component of where you work. Whatever you do, even if you don't have a paying job, you have a non-paying job. You are a critical component of the things that you're creating. Without you, it's not the same because you're imprinting it. And so when we can start taking those mundane tasks and we can start looking at the sacredness of them, we can start looking at it and going, I'm at 8 a.m., this existed. Reality existed in this way. And in 5 p.m., a different existence was created as a result of my creative energy. I did that. You did that. Creativity. And sometimes you can do your job a little more creatively, right? How many of you have started getting into the Dunkin' Donuts mentality? You remember that guy? Time to make the donuts. Time to make the donuts. He'd drag himself, 4 o'clock in the morning, time to make the donuts. Us old farts, we remember this. Some of you new ones, what, commercials? But that idea, we get so dragged down by it that we don't realize there's sparks in there. There's sparks in there of brand new ways that you can look at what you're doing, brand new ways of what you can bring to the table. So look at that element of creativity and how that can impact your work. The second thing about work that I've felt as I sunk into it is work is such a tool for presence. How many of you guys have gone to work and you've been there about an hour and a half and you don't really even remember arriving? And you're there like here, okay, so you're doing your thing and you're checking emails and yeah, okay. And you suddenly look and it's 10:45 and you weren't even there. You don't even know what happened. You have to check your sent file to see what you've written. What, huh? We step totally out. Because it's not the exact choices we would want to make if everything else were equal. If everything else were equal, we'd all want to be at Lake Harriet walking around and, chilling out and having the best time ever, eating the best meal, right? That would be, if we could get paid to do that, that'd be awesome. But we're here in this other place that we've chosen, and yet we don't actually stay there. So if I went around the room and I said, Laura, what job have you chosen? What job is yours right now? Software asset management. Okay, let me try to remember what that would mean with my Fred Flintstone brain. I review licenses and say yes or no. Software asset management. So I can imagine that you could step out pretty easy, right? You just gone. But yet, that's what the masters have told us that we need to learn how to do, is to be Thich Nhat Hanh. Has anyone read Thich Nhat Hanh? Okay, Thich Nhat Hanh has a way of describing meditation where he can make a walk a meditation. Walking around, doing nothing but walking, is a very profound meditation because every step that he takes, he's present with every single time. with every breath, with everything that he sees from a new perspective. He's here. And we can go hours doing other things that are just as mundane and step away. So the practice that work is, because you can make work a practice. You can get all done the stuff you got to do to get the green energy, okay? Because let's be honest, if you really could do all the stuff that you needed to get the green energy, you could probably do it in a quarter of the time. Right? Most of us? I'll be honest, me? Totally. If I were really present for every single moment of my work day, oh my God, I would be simultaneously on Oprah, New York Times, Today Show. I'd be so powerful and so absolutely productive if I were actually present. Most of us step out. Most of us live in that future past, oh yeah, I got to do some work now. Future past. We think about what's going to be next? I got to get to that next thing. I mean, you may not be thinking it on a conscious level. It might not be something that you're making a decision on, but I promise you that sometimes you're doing this. Where some of your brain functions, some of those brain waves that are making things go, are going towards later today or tomorrow. And some of those brain waves and some of that energy, that physical and spirit energy that you have in you, is in the past going, oh God, I really just don't feel well. I wish I could have just stayed in bed. She's, it's hot in here. I wish I could really be in my PJs right now. You're living in those two places. Work, we can be here in the moment, because you remember that moment is one that you'll never get again. You'll never get it again. Do you want to choose, I want to get this over with? Or do you want to choose, I'm still happy. This is good. I feel good. I'm helping. I'm fulfilled. I can run a whole other reality in my head. This is what I would do if I were in a situation like you, and I've been in situations like you. Trust me, I've had some pretty nasty jobs in my day that didn't fit me. It didn't fit me. It's not that they were nasty, they didn't fit. Anybody ever been in a job that didn't fit? I hate that. I hate when you have to do something that you're not designed to do. So when I was in those kinds of things, I would try to find a way to find the sacred in the mundane. And the other thing about work is it lets us serve. Something's beeping. Who's beeping? The beeper's like, I know, the beeper knows. Service. I feel like one of the things that holds us back in our relationship with our way of making money, or our daily work, is because we're always continuing to think about us. We stay in that isolationist, self-focused, what about me? 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 And if we can push that out, and if we can start going, wait a minute, we are really all connected. Every single one of us that does something in this world, we are all connected. And I can serve you. I can serve you from my heart with compassion and openness. And that gets the energy rolling. Don't you feel how sometimes when you're in that kind of, God, I can't wait till the day is over, and I can't, I'm totally not even here, I'm just thinking about tomorrow, or I'm thinking about yesterday, and it's just, I just hate this, why'd I do this? This is not good for me, I'm not happy here. Whatever it might be, it's like your own energy just keeps bouncing around on yourself, and you're in a racquetball court from hell. And the ball is your own negative thought. And the racquetball court gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and it's bouncing around, and it's louder, and it just keeps pummeling you, but you don't know how to change it. Does this feel familiar to anybody, or is it just me? Okay. Because seriously, it could be. It could be. But I haven't seen it happen yet. One of the ways that we can work with labor, one of the ways that we can work with work, is to realize that I can give to you. I'm giving you a service. I'm giving you my heart. I'm giving you what I can. Because I want you to be better for it. I want you to shine brighter for it. I want you to be the full emanation of the divine that you are. And if I can do something to help you do that, then that fills me. And if we can start looking at each other that way, we can break down that racquetball court of our own making, because work is just simply a reflection of what we've chosen to do in our lives. You cannot, I cannot separate my work and my personal life. If I'm unhappy in my personal life, I will be unhappy in my professional life. If I am miserable in my professional life, I will be unhappy in my personal. If I'm big in my personal life, my personal practice of who I am, my work automatically reflects it. It's not something I even have to do. When I go out and have coffees and networking with other speakers, when I have normal clothes on, and going to normal places with footwear, I will sit down with them, and oftentimes they'll ask me, what is it that you need to do? What do you do? How did you do it? How did you build this thing that you've built so quickly and so well? What's the secret? Well, the secret, there is no secret. There is no secret. There's doing it yourself, feeling it and being big and being beautiful and being divine. And when you are that, when you are your full expression of your divinity, other people go, that smells good. I like that. And they all start kind of coming. They start coming around. Coming around where you don't even know where they're going to come around. Come around all in the ether, in different parts of the world. Suddenly someone, because this is the beauty of the internet. I have been chastising myself because I'm feeling like technology is taking me away. Where I long for Pong. You remember Pong? Pong was great. Pong was so awesome. And now there's all this other stuff. But all this other stuff has also created the ability for someone in India to connect to you today. For someone in South America to connect to you today. For someone in California to connect to you. It just happens, right? Boom, 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 boom. So if we start radiating that, if we start pushing down the walls and acting, working, walking in this world with, how can I serve? How can I help you? How can I help you? And if you're in service, does anybody work with the public? Okay. How many of you have either done or received someone saying, how can I help you? And that's the furthest thing on their minds. Right? And Walmart was the worst for me. Walmart was the worst, where I'd walk in and I can't stand it. I can't stand it. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. Gets me sick, literally, when I'm in there after a few minutes. And you have somebody who's just about ready to pop in the door. How can I help you? Twitch, twitch, twitch. That's not where he was coming from. That's not where she was coming from. But yeah, we hear that all the time. So one of the things that we can do is start stepping into how can I help you? How can I help you be a better person? How can I help you be a happier person? How can I help you be a more powerful person? How can I help you be a more peaceful person? How can I help you be a more healthy person? How can I help you be more you? How can I help you? How can I help you? And you change that. Because you know what will start to happen? If enough of us start going, how can I help you? And you know how it feels when somebody helps? Really? Oh my God, I love that. I love that when someone really helps me. If I go in, and this can be in my life in the store, and it can be in my life in the big parts of my life too. If I go in to Menards to buy tubing, and I don't see anybody, and I'm lost, and I'm going, oh, this is like such a guy store. You know, you feel like you grow a penis in the store. You know, you hate it. You're like, things I don't understand, things I don't understand. I wish Gary Parisian was with me. He could tell me. And then, you know, just a handsome young man, 21, walks up to me, dark hair, little apron. How can I help you? What are you looking for, pretty lady? And I say, I'm making some hula hoops. I need 160 PSI, 3/4 inch. Come on, I can help you. You're just, and you just kind of let him just take you, you know, in his little bubble of cuteness, take you to the door and take you to the computer, and there it is. And the same thing in our lives in the more serious parts too. Sometimes when we don't say, I need help, we don't say it out loud, but we're saying it from our heart. How many of you have made the SOS call from your heart? I need help, I need help. Help me, I'm going down here. Right? But you don't know how? You don't know how to ask? And then someone comes in and helps. You just want to weep, don't you? I mean, I have. When my husband, my lovely, beleaguered husband, Michael, when he helps me get through something big, when he helps me in that place where I'm just small and I'm shaky and I'm afraid, and I just want to run off, and I just want to turn on the TV and eat chocolate and go away. When he comes in and helps and holds space, that's how Michael helps me. Michael helps me by just holding a bigger space. He's like, no. I know you're small. You think you're small, but you're really this big. So I'm going to hold space for you to be this big. And then when I fill that space, I just want to weep. I'm so grateful, and I'm so appreciative, and I can feel myself getting bigger from that help. Think about what we could do in this planet if we did that all the time. If we gave, if we worked, if we contributed with that loving spirit. Instead of just letting the racquetball of negativity. If we really came from that, I do this because I love you. Now that's a stretch for some of us, me especially, to sometimes serve people that I don't much like. Those of you that worked in public, have you ever had a customer or a client that you didn't like? Totally. They were dinks, right? Those people still, if you can give, because see what happens is if we have these just doofs that we work with, then we start equating work with that negativity. We start equating that, we start giving power to that idiot, whoever it might be. We give that power to that idiot. The idiot says, our service, our mission, the purpose that we have on this planet, I'm going to give to this yahoo who doesn't know how to communicate, who's afraid, who's redirecting their fear into anger, who's a power monger because they had no power in their childhood. Whatever it might be, we're giving all of our service, all of our support, all of our power of what we're going to do in this world to this yahoo. Instead, what we can do is we can give even to the people that we don't like. We can give even to the people that drive us crazy. Because it's super easy to be all spiritual and cosmic muffiny when it's with the people that you like, right? I mean, it's like Linda Austin. I love Linda Austin. Linda Austin is like the shiz. She does a second service, second Sunday, every other Sunday, spiritual development service here at LHSC, and I adore her. And then there are other people that are like the anti-Lindas that I just want to run away from. But I'm pushing away from reality. I'm pushing away from the fact that there are the light and there are the dark. There are the people that have woken up, and there's the people that are asleep. It doesn't make them bad. I got them in my family. Anybody got asleep people in their family? Hi! Are you going to see him later? Right. It's like, where's the bar? You're either going there or they're already there. But we push. And so labor, this idea of labor is like you're pushing against something, you're doing all this. It's work. And we spend half the day, half the life, work. If I can just get to 5 o'clock, if I can just make that much money, if I can just get that next client, if I could, we're pushing, if I could get that next job, if I can get the way to move out of this town and go to the new town that's calling me, whatever it is, we're pushing against it. Now feel that inside your body. What that does. What does that do inside your body? I don't like that. I don't like how it feels in my body at all. Where is it in you where you're pushing against it? Part of the step of healing that's so important for us is to recognize it. Because some of you, let's sink into the place that we're in the have to. Sink into the place where you're pushing against it. Where is it? And it might hurt. Don't jump away from it. Be in it, because the jumping away part is the part that we want to avoid. We want to just be in it. Where we fight. We're not getting it. We're not having what we want. We're not having the things happen the way we want it to happen. We're not working with the people we want to be working with. And we're still trying to push through, What is that? We didn't get the goal yet. We haven't felt it yet. We haven't felt the final crossing of the finish line yet. That place, that tension, that discomfort. That's where Spirit wants us to go. That's where Spirit wants us to go, is to just sit right in that place and recognize that that's life. That's life. Even in the place of not yet having, even in the place of 4:45, even in the place in the cubicle, you have Spirit in you. You have divinity running. You can imagine all the different bustling people around you in your office as awake or asleep people that are still the same spark. And you can start to let go of the drama. Because the drama is going to Pac-Man your life away. The drama that you say that you didn't choose what you've chosen. The drama that somehow I'm not responsible for my own well-being, my own happiness. That's going to chomp your life away. So we're going to reclaim it. And I'm really wanting all of us to stop waiting. Because you know what happens? We come to these things and we say, yeah, she's right, she's totally right. And then you go off and you do it again, and I do it again. So we can stop that by simply choosing it. Just like we've chosen that work is hard, we can start choosing that work is a joy. We can start choosing that no matter what Spirit gives to us in a day, if Spirit gives us an IRS tax audit, or if Spirit gives us a week in Lake Como, Italy, that we can be present, that we can be creative, that we can be supportive for all of it when we can be with Spirit. So we're going to do a little journeying. Get comfortable. Get your feet on the ground. As one of my spirit teachers would say, assume meditation posture. With the feet on the ground. Nice straight back, letting the energy be able to run from your crown, top of your head, all the way down to the base of your pelvis, that you can actually feel the energy of your spine traveling up and down. Breathe. And imagine that you are pulling in all of your energy that's scattered throughout this world. Any place that you've accidentally or intentionally planted energy anywhere other than in you right now. At your home, in your car, at your work, with a friend, with a partner. Just pull all of your life force energy back into you and let it reside in your heart. Breathe in. And imagine that you can breathe out the bottoms of your feet. You can breathe out the base of your pelvis, and you can just breathe out any negativity, any stress, any strain, anything that is kind of holding you in a darker, denser energy. Let that just, as you breathe in, breathe out. Breathe it out your feet, breathe it out the base of your pelvis, breathe it out your hands, breathe it out. Feel the magnetic pull of the earth. The earth is a living, breathing thing that is supporting us, that has provided us everything that we've really needed to be able to survive this world. It's given us food, it's given us water, air, shelter. Breathe and let all of that just pull you down a little bit deeper. You can almost feel like there's a cord between you and the earth is just kind of gently tugging you and holding you in place so you're not flying off into space. And you imagine and feel and know that there is a creator, a higher power, a universal source of all that is surrounding us. It's not just in the sky. It's not just in the stars. It's not just beyond the galaxy, although it is all those things. It's also enveloping you right now, surrounding you, every inch of you. And it's filling this room. And it's filling the earth. And it's filling you. As you breathe in, allow yourself to breathe in the energy of spirit, the energy of the divine. Letting that light come into you, filling you down from your toes all the way up like you're a beautiful crystal pitcher, and it's just filling you and filling you and filling you. This energy that has created every living thing, this energy that creates universe upon universe is filling inside of you. It's filling every cell and all of the spaces between the cells. It's filling your bones and your muscles, your nerves, your organs. It's filling your hands, your arms, your shoulders, your legs, your pelvis. It's filling your entire chest and abdomen. You can feel the warmth and the tingle, the electricity, as it continues to go all the way up through your face, surrounding your eyelids, your eyeballs, your eyelashes, your nose, your mouth, your ears, your neck. Every hair follicle is infused with spirit. You can feel the earth still holding you. And in this place of complete integration with earth and spirit, you can choose right now, this moment, to begin the upward cycle, the upward trajectory of your own consciousness. That you are continuing to see every experience in your life as neither good nor bad. That you feel joy in whatever situation you encounter. You are present in all of your situations. You see yourself not only at your work, but in recreation, being completely present with this knowingness that you are divine. You are emanating more than the physical, and more than the mental, and more than the emotional. You are more than your body, you are more than your minds, and you are more than your thoughts. Breathe in and allow Spirit to come in even deeper and even more. Let that energy that is the Creator, that is uniquely for you, your version, your imprint of the divine, let that into you more fully. And in these next few moments of silence, as you breathe this in more and more, letting your body heal from any ailments it might be experiencing, letting it heal any negative thoughts that you might be thinking. Let Spirit communicate to you in whatever way it needs to today. Stay in this sacred space. Spirit, thank you for all that you have given us. Thank you for the amazing journey that we have been on since the presence. Thank you for being supportive of us all the time. Thank you for giving us the guidance that we need, even when we don't listen to it. Thank you for putting all of the people and the places and the things in our path that we can connect with, commune with, and serve, and to receive from. Thank you for putting all of those people and those places and those things in our world. We are recognizing them and we are open to them and we will act upon them. Spirit, thank you for the shadow. Thank you for the paradox. Thank you for the pain. For we recognize that when we feel the shadow and we see the paradox and we feel the pain, that we can recognize we can choose something else. We know that you have put this in our path for a reason, and we are thankful for it. We recognize that you are calling us to greater action now more than ever before. And we know that it is not going to be something that we can do alone. We open to you, Spirit, and we open to each other. We ask, Spirit, for your help as we open to each other, because many of us have been wounded by another. Many of us are afraid to connect to another in an authentic and powerful and true way for fear that we will be hurt again. Spirit, I ask that you help heal us of those wounds and that you give us the strength and the courage to go through this and open our hearts anyway, knowing that we may get hurt again. But we recognize that through that hurt we will learn, we will heal, we will grow. And we know that everything that is happening to us is in your plan. Spirit, I ask that you surround each and every one of these people in a golden orb of light. That you let each one of these hearts know how much you love them and that you are with them always. Spirit, I ask that you move into their worlds more fully and completely so they can move into this world more fully and completely so we can continue this upward spiral of consciousness. Spirit, I ask that you infuse all of these objects that have been placed here by open hearts with this powerful energy that we have brought into this space and into their hearts now, that they can go and use those tools as they continue their prayer work and continue their connection to you, even those who have just begun, even those who don't yet even know how. Let those doors open to those people's spirits so they can walk in, they can engage, they can feel this part of you that is so beautiful. Spirit, we thank you for this beautiful day. May we all appreciate it. Let the joy in, let the light in, and live this day fully. Aho. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. I want to just open the space up for any questions or comments, anything anybody feels the need to share with us. If this were a big circle, I'd have you all in here in the circle and go around. Does anybody feel like they need to share anything? Yes? Ivan. Wait. Technology.
I just want you to know that I feel very thankful and I have very much gratitude for your work because you have done so much to me personally. I have evolved to a higher level of consciousness with your message. So I thank you.
Thank you.
You
Thank
are
you.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm humbled. What's your name? Ava? Ava, one of my most precious spirit sisters in the whole world, is named Ava. And she's giggling like a little girl in San Francisco right now, going, "Ee, there's another Ava that just gave you love." Thank you. Anybody else need to share, want to share, have a question, want to say anything that they've experienced? Any? Ava brought the candles. Ava! Thank you, Ava, for bringing the candles. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Yes. I appreciate that. Anything else before we close? Okay. Yes, Laura. Yes.
What can we do, or can we do anything to help those in their racquetball courts of negativity? We can watch it, but when we try to help, they push us away.
Right. A racquetball court, a real racquetball court, because I learned how to hula hoop in a racquetball court. I'm intimately familiar with what they're like. You can, once you're in it, they always leave the door open. This is at the YMCA. I don't know, maybe fancy-dancy racquetball courts are different. But at the YMCA, it's always open because when you walk into the racquetball court and you're the one in it, you shut the door and no one else can open the door from outside because it's a safety issue. You know, when you're doing all this other stuff going around and doing what guys do in there, other than hoop. I don't know why people would go in there other than hoop, but so they do all this stuff. You can't walk into the racquetball court. until they're ready to leave. But what you can do is you can go to different parts of the YMCA. You don't have to hear. A racquetball court, when they're actually doing it, is very loud. Has anybody ever heard it? Because it echoes, right? It's like, it's like that. And when somebody's negative, they're like that. Bounce, 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 bounce. And you can try to get in and help them. Hey, idiot, get out of there. You don't need to do that. But the door's not going to open. The door is not going to open until they're ready to get out. Your role is not to get into the racquetball court. Your role is to turn around and find the dance studio that you can go have a good time in, where all the cute boys hang out outside the weight room. That's where I want to be. Okay? So when you have somebody in your life that is in negative, 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 bouncing, me, oh, it's all about me. You step away. Because sometime that person comes out of the racquetball court because they have to walk past the dance studio or they have to walk past the other places that you're joyfully expressing yourself, and they go, wow, she doesn't seem like a ball of anger. She's actually looking like she's having a good time. She's happy. She's pleased with herself. She's present in her body. She's just there. That's how you affect somebody's change. You just live it. You cannot knock on the door and expect to get in. Don't shake somebody and go, oh, did you know that the lady said at LHSC that you're in a racquetball court of negativity? That's not going to do any good, I promise you. I promise you it won't do any good. The best thing that we can all do, did you all feel today how full of spirit you were? How absolutely radiant you were? That's what you can do. You can just shine it and shine it and shine it some more. And then pretty soon the people who are in the racquetball courts, they're going to start paying attention. That's how this changes. That's how this changes. Thank you.